Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone. So today we will be presenting on our final project research proposal with a title, A Study Exploring the Impact of Peer Friendship Quality on Mental Health Among Semester 6 students of Diploma in English Communication at College Professional Mara, Seri Iskandar. Without further ado, we are going to start with the first chapter.
So, we begin for the part of the topic. The title that we choose is A Study Exploring the Impact of Peer Friendship Quality on Mental Health Among Semester 6 Students of Diploma in English Communication at College Professional Mara, Seri Iskandar. So, we focus on investigate the relationship between friendship quality and mental well-being among final semester diploma student, which is semester 6 of English communication student. And we highlight how peer emotional support, trust, and closeness affect students' ability to manage academic stress and life transition. So, why we choose this? Because the semester 6 student face intense academic, social, and emotional pressure during the semester. And also, we believe that peer friendship may serve and crucial buffets against stress, anxiety, and emotional fatigue. So, moving on to the background of the study. So, the context of the background is semester 6 student face a challenging transition phase, which is academic stress, finals exam, and future planning. So, friendship can serve as primary emotional support system, especially when students are away from home. So, our study purpose is to explore how peer friendship quality impact the mental well-being of final semesters DEC student, and our aims to provide insight for mental health support in local college environment, which is College Professional Mara is the one of the small institute in Malaysia. So, from our research, we according to OK 2019, I said that emotional security and reliable alliance in friendships help to reduce depression and loneliness and also social anxiety. And while according to Al-Sari 2022, he said that high quality friendship are associated with better self-esteem, life satisfaction, and lower mental distress. So, lastly is new ETAL 2023. He said that empathy fosters closeness in friendship, which support mental health. So, moving on to the statement of the problem.
Alright, thank you, Athirah. Now I will be moving on to the statement of the problems. So basically, friendship is a really important part of the student's life, especially for semester 6 students, where they are currently going through stressful situation like final exam, assignments, and also future planning after studies. So if they have a good friendship with trust and also open communication, it definitely can help them reduce stress and make them feel emotionally supported. However, when the friendships are weak and problematic, students can feel lonely, anxious, and also isolated. Some studies, for example, like Bonix from 2021, shows that students with strong friendship has lower levels of anxiety and loneliness. However, not many local studies focus on diploma students in Malaysia. That's why our research is important to understand how friendship affects mental health in our context, especially at KPMS. We will move on to the next part.
Next, I will continue on the research objective of this study. This research aims to examine how the quality of friendship affect the mental well-being of semester 6 diploma in English communication students at College Professional Mara Seri Iskandar. There are three main objectives in this study. First is to examine the perception of semester 6 DEC students regarding the quality of their peer friendship. This helps us to understand how students views and define their friendship. Secondly, to identify the key factors that contribute to either positive or negative friendship experience among the students. By doing so, we can discover what influences that strength or struggle within their social connections. Last but not least, To explore the role of peer friendship in emotional coping, especially during academic challenges. This include how friendship helps students manage stress, pressure, and other emotional struggles they face during their studies. These three main objectives aim to give us a deeper understanding of the connection between friendship and student mental health. Moving on to the next.
All right, for this part, I'll be explaining the research questions of the study. So this research is focused on understanding how friendship quality affects the mental well-being of semester 6 students from Diploma in English Communication Program at KPM Qyistina. So based on the problem statement, we came up with three main research questions. The first question is, what is the level of friendship quality among semester 6 DEC students? This question helps us measure how strong or meaningful their friendships are. And the second question is, how does friendship quality relate to the mental well-being of these students? Here we want to see if there's a connection between how good their friendship are and how well they are doing mentally and emotionally. Lastly, for the third question is, how do students with high quality friendships compare in mental well-being to those with low quality friendships? This allows us to compare two groups, students with strong friendships and those with weaker ones, to see if the friendship makes a difference in how they feel or cope. So these research questions guide the whole study and help us focus on how peer relationships really matter during the final semester of college. The next one is I'll explain why this study is important. So in college, students don't just face academic stress, they also deal with social and personal challenges. While grades and deadlines matter, friendships also play a big role in helping students feel supported and manage stress better. This study helps teachers and counselors see that students need more than just academic help. Emotional and social support is just as important. They might also start using more group work and bonding activities to make the classroom feel friendlier and more supportive. As for students, this research reminds us how important good friendships are. A supportive friend can make daily life more positive and boost motivation. Hopefully, this study encourages students to value their friendships and be better friends themselves. Lastly, for future researchers, this study adds to a local research on mental health and friendships in college. It can also be a starting point for more studies in different places or among different student groups. So, the study shows that friendships really matter and that they help students handle stress, feel happier, and grow emotionally. So, now let's move on to the next chapter, which is the literature review.
Okay, moving on to the first part of literature review, which is the friendship quality and its role in education. So let's begin by understanding what friendship quality means. So high quality friendship involve essential elements such as trust, mutual respect, empathy, emotional closeness, and reliability. So according to Bukowski et al. 1998, friendship quality can be broken down into five key dimensions. So the first one is companionship, which means sharing time and experience together. Number two is conflict resolution by managing disagreements in a healthy way. Third one is help and guidance by offering support when needed. Next is closeness by feeling emotional connected. And lastly is security by knowing your friend will be there for you. So this aspect can help us to determine how meaningful and beneficial a friendship in someone's life. So moving on to the importance in the educational context. So, in the context of education, friendship quality plays an important role, especially for students in college. Often, peer relationship can be replaced or supplemented by family support, particularly when student live away from home. So, when according to Hartap and Stevens, 1997, they emphasize that close friendship can lead to. First is better emotional regulation. Number two is increased motivation. And number three is stronger engagement in school activities. So, students who maintain positive peer connection tend to adapt more effectively and often show better academic performance. So, the last part is belonging and engagement. So, supportive friendship don't just improve emotional well-being, but they also influence how connected a student feels in the learning environment. So, a good peer friendship can foster a strong sense of belonging and social acceptance. We can say in the context of academic motivation, emotional stability, and participation in classroom activities. So, on the other hand, we can say that poor friendship can lead to feelings of loneliness. And also they will low engagement in class and even decline in academic performance. So it's clear that friendship matters not just socially, but it also academically and emotionally. So moving on to the next part.
Thank you, Athirah. So the next point is about specifically mental health and also coping mechanisms. So as you can see here, I've stated mental health and also coping mechanisms, and I will be explaining both more deeply. So basically, when we talk about mental health, we are not just talking about the absence of the illness. It also about having emotional strength, balance, and the ability to cope. So students in their final semester usually face high pressure. Research shows that strong friendship helps students cope better. For example, research from Compass and his team in 2001 found that people who have good support systems tend to use healthier coping strategies, like expressing emotions or solving problems rather than bottling things up. Friends also act as emotional co-regulators or emotional supports, meaning they help us manage our feelings during hard times. So good friendship quality really helps maintain well-being, while poor friendship quality can lead to negative coping habits. Next.
Okay, now I will continue on student perspective on friendship and mental health, and how strong social connection can really make a difference in school or college life. What students think about their friendship and how those friendships make them feel is a very important for understanding their well-being in school. Friendship can impact mood, motivation, and how students handle stress. In a study by Demir in 2010, a university student who felt their friends were supportive and trustworthy reported their feeling happier, less anxious, and more interested in their studies. This shows how friendship quality direct affect mental health and school engagement. Another study by Wright and Sillard in 2020 found that even short chats with close friends can make a big difference in how students feel emotionally. For example, during COVID-19 pandemic, students who stay connected with their friends either online or in person, they felt less lonely and more confident. Interviews with students also reveal that friends give emotional support, share advice, and offer a safe space to express feeling without judgment. This support system is especially crucial for final year students who may be stressed about jobs, graduation, and being separated from their close friends. So, in conclusion, we can conclude that hearing directly from students help us see how important friendship really, really are, especially during the most stressful parts of college life. Maintaining strong friendship can be a key part of protecting student mental health. Let's move on to the next person.
All right, so in this part, I'll explain how friendships can affect our well being, not just emotionally, but also physically. So, based on our research, according to Taylor in 2006, people are naturally built to form friendships, especially when they're under stress. Being close to good friends release a chemical called oxytocin, which helps us feel calm and lowers the stress hormone called cortisol. So, brain studies have shown us that being around supportive friends can activate the parts of our brain that makes us feel happy. Friendships also teach us emotional skills like understanding others, managing feelings, and expressing ourselves better. Students with emotionally supportive friends tend to cope with challenges in healthier way. Taylor also mentioned that these effects are especially important for young adults since our brains and emotions are still developing. So the friendships we form in college can actually prepare us to handle future stress in work, relationships, or family life. On the other hand, lacking strong friendships can lead to loneliness, anxiety, depression, or even suicidal thoughts. This shows that friendship is not just about fun, but also it's a big part of becoming emotionally strong and mentally healthy. So let's move on to the next one.
So next, I will presenting the part of digital friendship and emotional well-being, which explore how online peer connection contribute to student mental health. So the first, the role of online peer support as a final students, as a final semester student, we often don't have much time for long face-to-face hangouts. So especially when deadline and final project is coming near. So the platform like WhatsApp, Instagram, and or even quick video calls becoming our main way of keeping in touch with friends. So even a short message or voice note can give us emotional resources, and when especially when we are feeling overwhelmed and isolated. So according to Best ETAL 2014, online communication such as private chats and actually helps us to reduce feeling of loneliness as a bit of sense emotional connection. So this is really important during times when we stress and like exam week or when we are working late on assignment. So meanwhile, Friesen and Environment 2015 found that students who use digital message to open up emotional feel more supported and even show lower levels of depression. So it's not just chatting that's help us. It's the quality of conversation first. The quality of conversation that's matter. So the relevant to this study, in the context our study at KPMSI, this show that digital peer support is a vital coping mechanism, especially for semester 6 students. And when stress levels are high, even digital conversation can help students feel emotional supported, less alone, and more mentally balanced. So while our research focus on friendship quality in general, it's also important to recognize that digital friendship plays a big role in maintaining mental health during the most demanding parts of our college journey, especially in the final semester and the final week. So that's all.
Now I will continue explaining on the population and people involved in this research. The target group of this research consists of 100 semester 6 students from College Professional Menara Seri Iskandar, specifically those enrolled in the Diploma in English Communication or DEC program. These students were selected. This student will be selected because they are in their final semester, a stage where academic pressure is higher compared to the lower semester. At this point, many of them rely on peer support to manage stress and emotional challenges, which are more so than students in lower semester, like I said before. To ensure fairness, we use a simple random sampling method so that every semester TEC student had an equal chance of being chosen. This helps make our result more accurate and reflective of the whole group. Out of the 100 students, all will be invited to participate in an online questionnaire using Google Form. Then 6 students from each class will be volunteered for face-to-face interview to provide deeper insight into their friendship experience and mental well-being. This specific group was chosen because their friendship are likely to influence their emotional health during this transitional phase. By studying them, we aim to understand whether students with stronger peer connection have better mental health than those with fewer or weaker friendship. Last but not least, the result of this study are expected to benefit not only to the DEC student, but also help other departments on college to improve student well-being by understanding the importance of peer support.
All right, moving on to instrumentation. So in this study, two main instruments are used to collect data, which is an online open-ended survey and semi-structured face-to-face interviews. So the online open-ended survey is part of the quantitative method, which is it is created using Google Forms and allows students to share their opinions in writing. Even though the answers are open-ended, the responses will be coded and analyzed to identify patterns and measurable data. For next one is the semi-structured interviews is representing the qualitative method. So these are done face to face and allow participants to speak more freely about their feelings and experiences. So this helps the researcher explore deeper insights that the survey might not capture. So both tools support the mixed method approach where quantitative data provides general trends and qualitative data gives personal emotional details. Together, they offer a fuller picture of how peer friendship quality affects students' mental well-being. So let's move on to the next part.
So, moving on to the data collection procedure. So, for this study, we use a mixed method approaches which combine both quantitative and qualitative technique. So, this allows us to gather not just numerical data, but also personal insight from students. Our target is groups of semester 6 students from Diploma in English Communication Program at College Professional Maras Iskandar. So the first phase is by doing a quantitative survey. We create a Google form with close-ended question and share it through WhatsApp class group. A total of 60 students participate, and they had 3 days to complete the form. So the goal is to measure their friendship quality and mental well-being using the numerical indicators. All responses will collect anonymously and store automatically in real time. So um, for the second phase is quantitative part, which involving a face-to-face semi-structured interviews. Students volunteer to join by 6 students from each class. So each interview lasted about 30 minutes and was conducted in a quiet and private space on campus to ensure comfort and confidentiality. So the interview question will focus on key themes like emotional support, trust and conflict, and how friendship have affected their mental well-being during the college. With their consent, the interview will audio recorded, and then the transcript will used for analyze. These mixed approaches allows us to gain a comprehensive understanding on how friendship quality influence mental health from both a statistical and personal point of view. So moving on to the next part.
Without us realizing, we have almost come to the end of our presentation today, and I will explain on our last slides, which is research ethics. So, since our topics involve personal feelings and also mental health, we will follow very strict ethical guidelines. For example, all participants will give informed consent and they can stop participating anytime they want. Survey responses through Google Form will be anonymous, and interview responses will use pseudonyms for privacy. We will also give students access to campus counseling service in case they feel uncomfortable or emotional. And all this data will be stored securely and used only for academic purposes and only for this proposal. This way, we ensure the safety and privacy and also the well-being of every participant will be taken care of. So, without further, so that's my part on the presentation. We really excited to explore this topic. Hope it will help support student mental health in our college, and I'm hoping that our research proposal will be accepted and we can conduct the real research soon. Thank you.